of course, the big news coming in from the Olympics. India's ace wrestler Vinesh Phogat has stormed into the finals of the women's freestyle 50 kg event as she convincingly defeated Guzmán Lopez at 5-0 at the Paris Olympics 2024 on Tuesday. She has scripted history by becoming the first Indian woman to enter an Olympic final. She has also assured the nation of at least a silver medal after her semi-final triumph against the Cuban opponent at the Champ de Mars Arena in French capital. Both semi-finalists were off to a cautious start, but Lopez got a passivity clock, which meant Vinesh got on the board with one technical point, her opponent not taking any risk. Vinesh led the game 1-0 after the end of the first period and extended her dominance in the second, clinching 4 more points to seal a final berth and entering the history books. Phogat had the spotlight on her for the entire bout as she had answers to every attack Lopez made, while it was the opposite for the Cuban. She will now vie for gold medal in the finals when she takes on USA's Sarah Hildebrandt on Wednesday. The Indian grappler began her campaign on Tuesday itself and has now registered 3 wins on the bounce, giving India hopes of another medal at these games. She first defeated reigning gold medalist and 4 times world champion Yui Sasaki of Japan with 3-2 in the pre-quarterfinal of her category and went on to register another win at the quarterfinal against Ukraine's Oksana Livach at 7-5 to qualify for the semi-final of the event and meet Guzmán in the last 4 stage. Now, her win against the legendary Sasaki was a major upset as she defeated a player who didn't drop a single point in a gold medal journey of 4 bouts at the Tokyo Olympics in 2022. She also became the first wrestler to beat her in the international wrestling. In the quarterfinal, she downed Ukraine's 8th seed Livach, which made it a memorable day for the combatant and for the entire country. Was a moment that was there with the family members. Well, we are joined in by sports editor Meha, who is on the phone line. Meha, can you explain the significance of this aspect of this win for Vinesh, and at the same time, you know, a lot of firsts out there, first woman wrestler trying to reach the Olympics final in that category, wrestling. What else is the significance of this particular win?
Verghese, a very good morning to you and good morning to all our viewers. I've got to say, it is indeed a very good morning for Indian fans, because what Vinesh Phogat has done is remarkable. It is by far one of the most compelling, one of the greatest stories of Indian sports. And why I say this is that we have to put this in context. Vinesh Phogat yesterday wasn't just fighting for herself. She wasn't, seeing this as a sporting competition. She was seeing this as a fight against what all she stood for. You know, she was fighting for the wrestling community in India. She was fighting for the women wrestlers who sat with her, protesting against the former Wrestling Federation chief, Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. So she was fighting for a larger cause, and she knew it. And that's why, even when someone like a world champion, a 4-time world champion who had never been beaten before, a reigning Olympic champion who came in the first draw against her, did not stand a chance. And you've also got to understand, Verghese, the way in which she planned these 3 bouts. It's incredible how tactical she was in executing the plans for these bouts. The first one, if you talk about the first one and the most important one, where everybody had given up hope and said, you know what, it may not be possible because this Japanese opponent is just too good. She's not lost to anybody outside of Japan. But here comes Vinesh with a perfect strategy. She, gave you a defensive masterclass in how to handle an opponent like her. The second bout, which she fought against a higher-ranked Ukrainian, Livach, that was aggression. That was Vinesh saying, I've got to attack and take that opponent and put her down on the mat. That is my only chance to win, and she did that beautifully. The third, which was the semi-final against the Cuban opponent, was, again, a perfect blend of attack and defense. And now we see her having created history, becoming the first woman wrestler to enter the final. So it's an iconic moment, really, for Indian wrestling, especially for not just Vinesh, but Bajrang, Sakshi, who stood up against the might of Rajbhushan Charan Singh and Anand Singh. And look at the challenges that she's faced in the last 18 months, Varghese, to think that, you know, she has fought a system. She sat at Jantar Mantar for months, you know, protesting against the Wrestling Federation chief, to then getting a surgery. She had an ACL tear last year and got a surgery, qualified for the Olympics, and here we are with her having assured a country of 1.4 billion people that they are going to get a silver or a gold in wrestling. It's a huge, huge moment, and every bit of this moment must be celebrated by all of us.
Well, do you think she is at her peak performance right now?
Absolutely. Like I said, the three bouts in which you saw her compete, and also let's not forget, the first one and the second was within an hour of each other. So she beat the four-time world champion, reigning Olympic champion, and then came back within an hour to beat the Ukrainian Oksana Livach. That is, you know, that shows you that she's in peak fitness, that she knew exactly what she was getting into, that she executed her plans, her strategies to perfection. And these were not just any opponents, these weren't light opponents, these were really strong opponents for her. So to have beaten these two, and then she came in at night here, India time, at around 10:20, and then beat the Cuban opponent, who was also a European champion. She's a Pan-American champion. So you're looking at very difficult wrestlers that she beat on her way to the final. So definitely in peak fitness, and I expect nothing but gold from her, without, of course, jinxing it.